Inmates, welcome to week 49 of the cellblock Scorch. This is Lost, and the prompt for the week was Arcane Teens Singing, given by Cricket. I've been a fan of the podcast Welcome to Night Vale for some years now. Bones is actually the one who introduced it to me, and I'm very grateful for that. Welcome to Night Vale is a comedic horror podcast, and when I saw this prompt, it screamed Night Vale to me. I really wanted to write something that gave the same off-kilter energy that the source work does, and I hope that I achieved that. So into the world of Night Vale we go. This is How Long Has It Been?
How long has it been? Looking back on my life raises a lot of questions for myself. I remember what was going on in this town when I arrived, but I don't remember when I arrived. I feel like it wasn't too long ago that I came here, but there's so much evidence that points toward me being here much longer than I realized. I remember walking through the town when I first arrived. There were quite a few things that I didn't understand. I walked by the dog park, but there was no one in it. There was also the being, that came up and asked me for some change. It seemed shocked when I said I had a few dollars I could spare. I didn't know what that was all about then, how much I've learned and seen. There was also the library that seemed to be barricaded shut, and there were a few other odd things I noticed when I first arrived, but the thing that left the strongest impression on me was the teens and their bloodstone circles. I'd never seen a bloodstone circle before, and there were these teenagers, in what appeared to be a complex formation perfectly aligned, and they're all in perfect unison as they sang praises. At first I couldn't make out the words, but when I caught on to a repeating phrase that I still didn't know the meaning of, the teens kept repeating Huntokar at various pitches and with different rhythms, and through all the things that they were singing, Huntokar was prominent. It's funny that almost all my questions about this strange town have been answered since I've been here, but nobody seems to know who or what Huntokar is. I no longer see the teens in the bloodstone circles singing about or to Huntokar. The bloodstone circles are still prominent, but I now don't hear any mention of Huntokar. I only hear vague prayers coming from bloodstone circles, and there's never singing. I should have taken the opportunity that first day to ask those teens what Huntokar is, but I didn't want to interrupt, and also didn't want to wait for them to finish. I should have waited. Maybe then I would know what Huntokar is, and I'd know why I can't forget it.
Hi! Cricket here for Judge Comments on week 49. This week I got two pieces. I got this really cool poem from Grishmak with just like an incredible amount of assonance in it. Truly, really well done, really nice. And then the piece that you just heard from Lost, which I'm so obsessed with. Crying About Huntokar, 2K Eternity. This is a piece inspired by the podcast Welcome to Night Vale, which is a fiction podcast in the guise of a radio show from a small town somewhere in the American Southwest. And it's classic and iconic and ooky spooky and so good. And this piece is so good. It just has such a good, like, mysterious tone to it, and I love all the little details in it, and I am fully obsessed with it, and that is why I chose Lost this week for the win.
The prompt for next week is Your story must involve cucumbers. I would now like to take this time to thank Rocketman for reading my pieces for me all this time. I appreciate him stepping in for me since I was unavailable, but it's time for me to take on the full responsibility of my work, so I will be reading my works from this point forward. Once again, I'd like to thank Rocketman for reading for me, and I'd like to thank you, dear inmates, for being here. If you'd like to see the embers, you can support us on Patreon. Thank you all again, and until next time, keep that fire burning.
The Cellblock Scorch is a production of Stellacore, an independent group of nerds sharing their obsessions with the world. Links to all our projects, including Instagram, Tumblr, YouTube, Patreon, and Ko-Fi, can be found on our link tree posted in each episode description. Follow us on Tumblr or Instagram to see the prompt of the day before the episode drops, and a quote from each Scorch the day after. If you would like to support our creative endeavors, you can give a one-time tip to the Ko-Fi of the writer of your favorite Scorches, or check out our Patreon. There, you can access the Scorches and episode transcripts for free, or sign up for Spark level support for $5 a month to gain access to our embers as well.